For real.
Now it's recording, the real thing. Woo!
Oh, man.
Replay on the bars.
Your turn. Give me 8 bars if you can.
Let that, hey. Let that beat. I was. Since from. Easter holiday. You know what I'm saying? I was not ready for that mumble rap. There you go.
When Honey G went
When
on.
I say Britain, we say you say talent. Britain's got talent. It's a DJ. Come on.
Careful, copyright.
Cheese. Yeah, true. I don't know how copyright works. Isn't it more than 5 seconds? Is there like a second countdown?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Hey, listen, this was very important, actually. Storm, we had a little conversation yesterday, Chris, Eliza, and I, about talent shows back in the day. These guys, especially Eliza, didn't really have an appreciation in the way I had an appreciation for them. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, like, just
This
none of
man
them
here.
were outstanding. Do you know what I mean? I didn't go, oh, wow, that was amazing. It was all very, like, cabaret. What you get on a ship is what I used to say.
Yeah.
You're moving disrespectful.
Yeah. You were very appreciative of like everyone. Oh
I
my god.
loved
You remember Cheryl? What was it? Cheryl?
Brenda. Who on earth
Brenda.
was Brenda?
What?
Oh,
Brenda.
yeah, and Cher Lloyd.
Cher Lloyd.
No,
That's
but that
it.
being said,
Cher
Adele
Lloyd.
started off on X Factor, didn't she? And now she's Adele. So
Adele went on
I can't
X Factor.
remember
I
Adele
missed
on
her.
X Factor.
What
yeah,
did
it was
she-
X Factor or Britain's Got Talent, one of the two. And now she's
Nah.
Adele.
Adele.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
Adele.
I will
Fact check
no,
this.
she didn't.
Fact check this. It's
No, she
fake
didn't,
news.
man. That is
Fake
fake
news.
Adele had Chasing Papers in 08.
I think you're thinking
Hang
about
on.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Adele X Factor edition. She's literally on X Factor.
What?
No, she wasn't.
I'll find the YouTube.
No, she
No
wasn't. She was
way.
established, man. I knew her personally.
No, that's mad. No way. No way.
Yeah.
Can't
I think
be.
she just spammed with her in 2007.
Hello.
2007, Chris.
Yeah, it was like 2007.
It wasn't. Adele was not on there, but I guarantee you.
Yes,
I
she
promise you. No, she
was.
wasn't.
She 100%. It might have been Britain's Got Talent, actually.
No. None of them.
As a performer.
Yeah, was she like there
No,
to...
she's in the crowd, maybe.
No, she was. Do you remember what? No,
She got
she
tickets
was.
like Charlie
She
and Chocolate
was.
Factory. And
Oh my
was.
gosh.
She wasn't.
She was.
struggling to
wasn't.
find evidence?
Listen,
See,
I
because
promise you.
Adele, when you search
Listen,
Adele on YouTube,
I
so many
promise
things
you.
come up.
I promise you right now. I'll give you £2 in change if you're right. I know for a fact Adele was not on any talent show.
Listen, talent shows were amazing, right? And we're going right back. Shane Ward,
was Jenny.
Andy Abraham, me and Mrs. Cheese, Journey South. What?
It's up all right.
Journey South were brilliant. When I
bit
find
long.
Who
myself
else was there?
in
There
times
was
of
that
trouble.
guy.
Chico,
No,
what
do you
time is
remember
it?
the guy who was, who was the guy who was homeless? The guy who was, James Arthur, that's it.
James
James
Arthur,
Arthur.
not a huge fan. But,
What?
That was
James
James
Arthur's got
Arthur.
bangers.
I really-
Did he have that prison one? Oh, no, the lawyer one where he was in court.
that's
No,
plan B, isn't
that's
it?
plan B. That's plan B. Edit her out.
Oh, that was a tune though.
That was
She
a
said,
tune.
I love you, boy, I love you so.
I like literally. This is how much I don't really care. You have to make such a good imprint on my life that I'm like,
And then there was Ed Sheeran, James Arthur.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed
X
Sheeran
Factor.
didn't go on X.
Nah.
SBTV.
How did
Jamal
he get
Edwards.
famous?
SBTV.
Jamal Edwards, SBTV.
Yeah.
What is that?
SB.
Before your
Oh
time.
my-
We could,
Sorry.
this podcast going to be about educating Storm.
You don't know what SBTV was?
No.
So you don't
Oh
like,
my gosh.
this guy Jamal Edwards used to go around with his camera and just film like up and coming artists. Well,
Joe
call
Jamal
themselves-
Edwards.
You would have heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like,
SBTV.
yeah.
When was this a thing?
Oh man, what?
I wanna Google
Probably like when Adele was on.
Just SBTV.
SBTV.
2006. I was 6.
You're not
Oh,
ready.
so
You're not
he
ready.
was Huggies and Buggies and Teletubbies.
Yeah.
You
I
might
was
have missed
6.
Teletubbies. Did you watch Teletubbies?
Yeah. But
Okay.
They were kind of scary.
Man, yeah. Jeez.
Good times, man.
Good times. Good times. Ah. well, Eliza also didn't watch cartoons, but that's another problem.
Are we just like sacking me today? No, I didn't watch cartoons. I actually did so much productive stuff as a kid.
I didn't
That-
realise how much TV I watched
I
as a
didn't
kid till I
really
met
want-
Eliza.
Carl can sing like every cartoon tune. And I'm like, what were you doing as a kid? Like, I was working. There was so much child labour going on in my household. Like,
But it's the thing, I was working. Like, every weekend we were working the markets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
you mean every Sunday?
Yeah. And then...
That's
and then,
not me. No,
hold
no,
on.
Literally,
Hold on. Can I...
literally, this guy every day of the weekend.
Allow me to elaborate. Listen, yeah. Sunday was the day on the market. Saturday was preparation. We had to go to different shops, find different music. We had to print off the labels with the
You
cut.
was there.
I was cut.
You was part of it.
Yeah, they played tracks, R&B. Like, we need to make new R&B compilation. What do you think of this track?
Where was he doing
Dead.
it, Chris?
Next one.
Where was he
Next
doing
one.
it?
Dead.
In
his-
days.
Ends. In ends.
Do you know what? Not
In
even the whole
ends.
time. Because they moved to Peterborough, so he's doing it
Yeah,
from his
true.
4-bed house.
Listen to me. Listen.
4-bed house
In
and
his
pillars
little
on the
office.
side. All the neighbours knew each other. It's like, yeah,
Lies.
rough, Chris.
Drinking actual Ribena, not the
Listen.
squash, not the Aldi zone.
Man, we had to go Nettos. We didn't have
Listen,
Aldi.
let me clarify something for the listeners, yeah? I did not have pillars outside my house, all right? Can we just
Oh
clarify
my
that?
god.
Okay?
What? There was 4 pillars.
I didn't have pillars. It was a little wooden thing. It wasn't pillars. They didn't have pillars.
What happened, right? It was like myself and Eliza, we grew up in like these crazy broken homes, very rough areas. You know, you have to survive. You know, and come off.
It's a local joke about our dads.
Come off or you'll chime in and like, yeah, me too, man. I had this 8-bedroom house with a jacuzzi in the back. My parents had this office. An office?
And a garden. What are you talking about?
Lies. I didn't have...
We had imagination.
Listen, yeah? Man's been through it. You know what I mean? And I made it out the other side in one piece.
By it, he means the suburbs.
Listen, yeah? Man was born in a cancer state, yeah?
He
I was
lived there
born in a
for
little
3
cancer
months.
state, yeah? For at least a year and a half, yeah? And then moved to Hayes. Hayes
I
ain't...
feel like your mum said it was a matter of months.
Nah.
Your mum said she was walking past the council estate. Her water broke. She had to rush back to the mansion.
Lies. Listen, man's been through things, yeah? Yeah? Do you know
we don't
you don't
know
know what it's you don't know what it's like. You don't understand. You don't know what it's like to come
don't know what
downstairs,
it's like.
look for your mum and dad, can't find them. Why? Because they're out in the back in the office
What? Good for your
working.
dad, you know? I've been doing that.
Chris has been doing that for me.
And I said, your mum and what?
Oh, some days I came down, they weren't here. They were both at work, you know what I mean? I had to fend for ourselves.
Yeah.
When
you
he
know
was
what I mean?
17.
The old fairs are like, yo.
I never heard before.
I didn't know what it was till I met you guys. Man. I was like, a what?
Listen, for the listeners, an au pair is someone who is studying English in another country, and they come over to England to study English, and while they're doing their studies, they live with a local family,
And your parents have enough money to hire them.
and they chip in with helping look after the kids and keeping the house and that. That's all.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Listen,
It's tough.
Not even like weird au pairs. They were called Jean-Marc. One of them. They
Man
had
like
2
Jean-Marc.
names.
man like Jean-Marc, we got Jean-Marc. Yeah, he got fired. But yeah, you know, we've all been through stuff, haven't we? We've all got our stuff, yeah?
True, that's true.
We've all got our stuff, and I think that's what we've got to remember. You don't know what anyone else has been through, you know, when you look to your left, look to your right. Glad I made it out on the other side. Don't know how we got here.
A lot of people didn't make it.
But as I was saying,
Oh, man.
I didn't realise how much TV I watched until I met Eliza. I thought everybody watched all these programmes.
True.
Alright, let's do a quick check. Let's do a quick test. Just say yes or no. Alright, Storm, get in on this as well. Even though you probably have never heard of any of the cartoons. Because you were 3 when they came out. Dexter's Laboratory.
Yes.
Yes.
No. I've heard of it,
Well
but
done,
never
Storm.
watched it.
Well done. Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
You watch Powerpuff Girls?
Listen, I was there.
Right.
I was there.
Let's go. Ben 10.
Yeah. My little brother loves Ben 10.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
No.
What?
I didn't watch it. I was too old. Like animations and wrestling and that. I
You're
was
never
like,
too old for
wasn't
Dragon
me.
Ball Z. Behave. You can watch Dragon Ball Z today.
No. It wasn't
Boondocks?
Yeah, that would
Sounds
that.
familiar. but I never
What?
watched
Do
it.
not.
Boondocks.
No.
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that
No,
made
but I
Lady
feel
sing
like
the
you
blues.
showed me
I'm the
that when
spark
we
that
got
makes your
together for
idea
like a
bright.
couple of years. And actually, it's not a kids program.
Definitely not a kids program. No.
Nah, I guess it's an older. Simpsons?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
Are we answering like whether we've heard of them or have we watched them?
Watched.
No.
Futurama?
No.
Yes, Storm, big up yourself. Alright, let's go to Disney. Phil of the Future?
No.
I don't know that.
Guys! Meet a boy named Phil and his family
Oh,
on
wait.
vacation from the 22nd
Yeah.
century. Got a retro time
You
machine
saw
and they're
too
on
much
their
TV
way
as
to
well.
the time way back in the day. And now he's Phil. Now Phil of the Future?
No.
Heavy. Alright. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Yeah.
Heard of it,
Yeah.
but never watched it. though.
Here I am in your life. You never watched Sweet
You
Life of
are
Zack and
mine.
There we go.
Yes, we
You have a sweet life. Most
Yeah.
of the time. That's So Raven.
Yeah.
That's so
Watched it? No, heard of it,
It's the
sorry.
future I can see. You watched it?
I didn't watch
You
it.
didn't watch That's So Raven?
Wow, that's
That's
rude.
remember I was old. Like me as a kid, I got to like 11, 12 and I was just outside.
Out being an adult and stuff.
Yeah, but I was like, you think you're grown.
I was outside.
Oh my gosh, The Amanda Show.
I
I
hated
remember
that
it, but I
show.
didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
It was
What?
banned in my house.
Amanda. Keelan and Kel?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that.
Alright, because you better watch Keelan, because Keelan be skinning. With a plan or a crop to make it to the top. Put yours in the middle, because they always get us. Oh! Okay, fair. Alright, so basically what you're saying is I watch more TV than all of you.
Still
Fair.
watched a lot of TV though as well.
I'm impressed, though. I'm impressed some of your knowledge
Wait,
there.
Storms doesn't even watch TV.
That's what she said. That's exactly what she said.
Now,
She's like,
I don't watch
I've
TV
She's
now.
like, I came from Zimbabwe, no TV. I didn't even know what TV was. That's what she said.
That's a false accusation.
SpongeBob SquarePants?
Yeah.
Never really watched it.
What do you mean no? You've watched SpongeBob. Don't write a line. Then if you watch the one about... I can't remember what it's called. Osmosis Jones.
Osmosis Jones.
Yeah.
This guy
it's based
used to
in somebody's...
watch TV.
He was all day.
It was based in somebody's body, and he was like a blue blood cell, and he had a sidekick, and he was like a medicine. He used to fight criminals within the person's body.
No.
Oh my gosh! Static Shock,
No. What are these? What channel is
Static
this
Shock, the Cartoon Network.
on? No.
We were like, oh, Black Panther, black superhero finally. Nah, Static Shock from day, black superhero with electric powers when I was a child. Fair enough. Listen, I could go on, but I think I understand that you lot ain't seen this. It's fine. Speaking of television, well, before we go into it, actually,
Before you go inside, this is in here.
this is in the room. Fair enough. Haven't actually made the introduction to everyone who's here. Obviously, as usual, it's me. I'm Kamal. Hi. Joined as usual by Eliza with the smile, Storm with the frown, right? Or with the serious look. Hey, there's a Storm with the smile. Someone on Instagram. We're live to Instagram right now. Someone said never heard of most of these. Fair enough.
Good. It means you had a life and friends and real friends.
I had friends. Alex and Chris, man. Big up.
They were the au pairs, man.
Bobby and Owen. Anthony.
Yeah, secretly your mum and dad are paying them to just be your friends.
Oh, dear. And we're joined by Chris today.
Never smile.
Man like Chris.
In the building. Happy
Back
to be here.
again.
You know.
We're also joined by Alicia, our 2-year-old, because it's half term, and that's
2-year-old, yeah?
she's 2, isn't she?
She's 3.
Three?
Gonna
She's
be
4 in
gonna be
month.
4 soon.
Yeah.
Lad.
You know.
Well done,
His
Chris.
child as well.
She's what?
How old are you, Alicia?
Thank you. That's my girl. See, she's 1. My baby.
Manu is
God,
talking
that's a
about.
liar.
I'm trying to tell you, lot. Listen, I'm a young
Alicia, how
father with
old
young
are you?
children.
1, 2, or 3? Good girl.
Right.
There we
You're
go.
forced to say it.
Do you know what I mean? Man, honestly. Well, we were going to go on to the topic, but our daughter's in the room,
I'm
so
gonna,
might have to put that one on hold for a hot second. Do you think cartoons and things you watched as young people influenced your character?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying, I was talking to you yesterday about Johnny Bravo.
Oh, Johnny Bravo.
Just the way he approached people.
Yeah.
He didn't care what he had going on or how he got rejected. He's like, I'm going my day anyway. And just taught you that rejection build character.
Yeah.
And me, I don't know if you believe it, Storm, man. I've been rejected many times. I know you probably don't believe it. I know you don't believe it.
Oh
you probably
my,
think,
don't be
you're
so
lying,
humble.
Chris.
You've never been rejected.
I promise you. I promise. Many times. But it just taught me to be like, I'm going to be me anyway. And I'm just going to carry on my day.
Fair.
You know?
What
Yeah.
about you? What's the most influential program?
Proud Family, probably.
Ooh.
Okay.
Proud Family.
Yeah.
Why? Or how?
I think I adopted the humour, like the kind of stupid humour that was in there
Okay.
for a little bit, but nothing. I don't think I watched something enough to fully like adapt to it. It was always little here's and there's. Like that's a Raven as well. Like the way Raven was, very loud and boisterous. I adopted that for a while. Yeah.
Fair. It's like you saw it and thought, I like that element of this person, I like this element, and
Yeah.
sort of went with it. Fair play.
Okay, Storm.
Oh, what would it have been? Fresh Prince in a lot of ways, in a sense of just being in a new area and still managing to like just come with energy.
Yeah.
Come with energy, have fun, do your thing. I think especially being someone who moved from London to Peterborough at that age of you've done your primary school thing and now everyone's new, everyone's different.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're one of the only black people here.
Yep.
It's
You're
like-
the exact same thing.
It's like, oh, okay, should I like
Yeah.
be smaller and quieter? And it was like, nah, Fred, what's up?
Yeah.
And he's just here. Just out.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed.
I've arrived.
I really enjoyed that. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That was really nice.
No, definitely.
I can see Finn Powell in the chat saying, "Did you see the question I sent the other day for the podcast?" Probably, but write it in here as we've got up on the screen and we can answer your question live and direct. Other than that, my wife and kids, man.
This
My
top
wife
tier.
and kids. I
Top
don't know.
tier,
It's
man.
just
That's 10 TV right there.
you got to see like they made fun of the son for not being clever in such a clever way that made you not want to be stupid.
Yeah.
I think there's certain programs that sometimes give you these not very clever characters,
Yeah.
but advertise it as, oh, they're not clever, but it's cute, it's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
With Junior,
Yeah.
they made it so not good to not be clever that I'd watch it and go, yeah, I need to be clever. And then
Yeah,
Franklin comes through,
Yeah. 4
little
years
Franklin,
old.
4 years
He had
old,
no brain.
more clever than everybody, and you're like,
No, I think it's-
yeah, I wanna be
But
clever.
Junior had his thing though. Junior was like really good at drawing and did that animation thing and stuff like
True.
that. So he had a thing. but
True.
He just wasn't very.
Yeah, that's it. And then the dad just Michael worked hard, owned his business, independence, and then looked after his family off the back of his hard work, and like made sure they had fun, they had adventures, and there was always a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach them. I'm not gonna tell them off. No, let them fail, and then I'm gonna get them. Yeah, that's probably I think the best show on TV ever is My Wife and Kids.
True.
That's my statement. I'm
Wow,
sticking with it.
statement.
It's a big statement. I'm sticking with it. Eliza, is there any shows, programs you watched when you were younger that you feel like influenced your character, either temporarily or forever forward?
No. I didn't really watch programs. I was a movies person. Like I love
Okay. Any movies?
Matilda and Parent Trap to this day.
Okay.
I loved like the independence that kids had. Do you know what I mean? In those movies, they can make like substantial change by themselves on their own, and I was like, great. I just think like the power that it gives you and like the independence and the personal responsibility. Like Matilda's circumstances were terrible.
Yeah.
She lived with horrible people,
Yeah.
but she was like, well, I just choose to be nice and I choose to be well read, and if that means me going to the library and walking however much, I'll go and do it. And it was like fair play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked stuff like that. So I guess it did. It made like an effect on the independence, and then I guess like Parent Trap, it was always like the fact that the mum was so classy and nice, but the stepmom was so fit, and I was like, imagine if you could be the two when you grow up. So then it was like making sure that you were both when you're older, because I wanted to dress like her, but I wanted to be like the mum. So
Okay.
I like that.
Failed at both. I'm joking. Kind of. No, I'm joking.
Chris is like, I'll say that I'm being serious when I leave.
Oh,
Or even
man.
distance. No,
Oh, dear. Oh, Finn's question was... Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a football
I'm
question,
so
isn't it?
sorry. Are Arsenal winning the league, and who's been the best player from every club in the Prem so far this season? Arsenal are winning the league. Yes, I think we will. Who's been the best player from every club? You're asking the wrong person, because I don't like
No
football.
more football questions.
I don't like football. I just like Arsenal, so I don't know anything about any other team at all. I couldn't tell you anything apart from Tottenham are rubbish. Sharif has said, I wanted my son to be like Franklin. Yes, Franklin was the guy. Absolute goat. And if we're talking about movies, Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
Character and just like a perseverance. Yeah. Heavy. Now, I feel like we've gone in a weird direction in the world where they're searching for new ideas for shows, and rather than going to what shows were before, for me when we were younger, shows were representative of like a strong family unit of morals, values, and all of the issues they ran into, for me, seemed like an issue of what do you stand for, what are your morals, what are your values. Gone against the morals and values, now there's a problem. You think of Fresh Prince where Uncle Phil has to come in and play snooker to
Hold the debts and stuff like that.
to pay the debts of Will back off. You think
Have
of
you realised that's not a good look, Chris? You only just realised. I told you, that hoodie's got half on, half off today.
yeah, and I think there was just always programs with some.
No bites there.
No. This is your house.
There were always programs with some kind of substance. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas now,
I feel like it started when we were younger. I remember at school being like, oh, there's nothing really where they talk about single parents or they talk about people from different backgrounds, like there's nothing to cling on to. And I remember my mum being like, isn't that the point? Like, why would you want your kids to watch something that might be like their life now but isn't really like anything to aim for? Do you know what I mean? Why would you want to watch a single parent family? Like, I don't, but I remember that started young where they were like, oh, there's no real books about different family units and what different family looks like. It's always the nuclear family. And it was like, yeah.
We've gone in the opposite direction now. But I can't think of any shows that show like a real strong nuclear family. I mean, I'm sure there are some out there, but not in the same way and same level it used
There's
to
that
be.
program that Hallie watches with like the they will have superpowers.
The Super Family or something like that.
Yeah. So like, I feel like they do exist, but I just remember that being an argument like way back in the day. And I feel like it's a bit of a pointless argument because I know for circumstances, I mean, look at your lovely house that you used to live in comparison to mine. But it's like, but it's like, why would anyone aspire to have my background rather than have your background? It just makes no sense. I think it's the most foolish thing to do. Yes, everyone should aspire to the nuclear family. I don't think that's a bad statement to make. It's not saying that your family is rubbish. I don't get offended when people say that.
Yeah.
It's just, what do I want for my kids? Well, I would want them to have your upbringing. I wouldn't want them to have mine.
Fair. Even though mine was tough and obviously came with struggles and that. But I get what you mean. Maybe slightly less than you guys. Maybe slightly, 10% less. But yeah, so we're driving yesterday and radio's playing. They're talking about this new show called Naked Education. I'm hearing them go back and forth about it again. This sounds a bit leave it. Doesn't sound great. So we jumped on Channel 4 and we watched as much as we could before Eliza had to turn it off. I'm just trying to think how the pitch goes. So we're in the pitch room, like, guys, you know what's gone really well? Naked Attraction's gone down really well, showing some different body types and dating like that. So I've got my next level. I think what we do, let's get school kids.
Again, right, can I just say that? Again, Naked Attraction, has it gone down really well? For views, probably. For actual long-lasting couples, I haven't heard of one that has lasted from naked attraction. So again, like all these actions or what the show sets out to do, oh well, it gets that over that hurdle because you see each other naked. It's just not true. I haven't seen it proven. I haven't seen any data on that. No one comes back and says, oh, like
Here's
the
our
after
successful couple.
show. Do you know what I mean? It's always like some awkward interaction, or they're like, haha, oh yeah, we went on a couple of dates. Like there's no marriages that come that I know of, or kids. And how many people go on that show?
A couple.
So statistically, I should know of at least a few that have been successful. So
Yeah.
when you say successful, it means they got a lot of views because people like to see naked people without having to go on porn websites, is what you mean.
Basically, yeah.
I was gonna say that, like, I feel like the show itself is not about the couple. Like, we're all grown here.
Yeah.
We know it's not about
No.
the date and what happens at the end. It's
It's
about the
also-
nakedness.
Yeah, it's
and
also not about
I
body
see that.
confidence. It's just
definitely
not.
No. It's just
Because
about-
people are still getting slagged for looking a certain way when they
Yeah,
go on
yeah,
that show.
yeah.
I don't leave there and go, oh yeah, I'm fine with looking at crusty feet now because that person went on with crusty
Why?
feet. Like,
That's
That's
not pointed.
That was a
That's
dig.
not pointed. I don't know what that was there.
I feel seen. I feel seen.
but I just think like even that, I'm like.
Yeah. No,
It's
makes
just
sense,
not
though.
true. The body confidence thing isn't true. No matter how many people you show of different shapes or different sizes or different problems, like sadly, I'm never going to aspire to that. It's like I know what I want to look like, and it's not like that. I don't care whether they get chosen to go on the date or not. I don't care. I wouldn't have gone on a date with you if you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. I am who I am. I like going to the gym. I'm cool with that. I'm never going to be happy with crusty feet or being overweight or
She's doing it again.
I'm still going to get self-conscious when I get spots. Like that's just me. That's just who I am.
So you're saying even the premise initially was a load of rubbish.
Yeah, I just think you're trying to change innate psychology because I agree, we have a nurture and innate nature, but I think when you try to change innate psychology, you're in a losing battle. So I just find like some things a bit over the top, like you can't change innate psychology and we can push it as much as we like. You're still going to see eating disorders and you're still going to see obesity because people just get stuck in their own psychology. It just is what it is. But men are always going to pick people that look a certain way. They just are. Like women are always going to pick men that look a certain way. They just are.
I think the idea of changing the idea of beauty standards is interesting because and maybe it happens, but I haven't seen many people who are like, I'm single because no one finds me attractive. I've seen all kinds of couples, all kinds of like partnerships where they go, hey, that's not my type. It doesn't matter because it's your type and you two are good. Like we've seen so many couples that you're like, I would have put them together, but he's obviously attracted to her and she's attracted to him and it works. So it's not even like we're living in a world where people are just being chucked to the side and ignored, especially on the women's side. Maybe there's an argument for it on the men's side. But yeah, it is an interesting one where you actually sit down and deep it and look around and look at couples. And do most couples look like what you're seeing on Instagram anyway? Not really. Yeah, outside
Do
of
they
us.
even look like themselves in real life? No,
Yeah,
not really.
outside of us too. I don't know any. Do you know what I mean? Most people are like, look quite normal. And then even like you say, I love the.
Why are you like this, man?
God, just out here complimenting yourself for no
Did you not
reason.
catch it? You're like, but no. But I'd say that like I'm single because people don't find me attractive.
Because people don't find you attractive.
Yeah.
No, you're very attractive. You just got an awful personality.
You hear the compliment in there? There's a compliment in there.
How are you trying to change his looks? No. Go and get a new personality from somewhere.
Oh, that would fix a lot of problems, you know.
This is
Actually,
coming from someone that got lucky, right? She got lucky.
Some call it luck. Some call it heartbreak. Do you know how much I wanted to be with someone from a 4-bedroom house?
She
And
planned
that's that I could call my own.
It was all planned. He's like, yeah, let me just Google him. Okay. Big house he grew up in.
Literally.
honestly,
Oh man, that's funny.
lost my whole train of thought, but it was funny. It was funny, so it's fine. It's fine. So anyway, we go back to the pitch room. So I'm in this pitch room and I'm saying, listen, here's my concept. Let's get school kids.
So confused when he said pitch room. I was like, why are we going back to the pitch?
Do you know what I mean? You know, there had to be a meeting. I'm assuming there had to be a meeting. Unless people can just make Channel 4 programs as they wish. But someone had to go, I've got an idea. Here's my idea. Let's get kids in a room, 5 of them, just 5. Put them in a room, give them a little desk like school, teach them about bodies and that kind of thing and talk about insecurities. Beautiful. And then at the end, let's bring in naked adults. Let's bring in 5 adults in dressing gowns and they just strip off naked and stand in front of these kids. And then the kids ask them questions. They talk about all their insecurities in their body and why they shave and why they don't shave and how they feel about their body and what it was like when they developed breasts. And who's in for that show? Like, how does someone have to go, yeah, great idea.
And by the way, everyone that sat in that room that agreed to that, in my perspective, should be in jail because they all committed acts against children there. The parents should be in jail. The adults should be in jail. Like, there's no way that anyone could say that to me from anywhere, regardless of money or anything. Should we get children in a room where there's going to be naked adults? No. The conversation stops there, innit? Yeah, disgusting.
I don't feel like I left school going, I don't know how what is this? I don't understand. There's different types of body. What are you talking about?
That's where I disagree with you. I think, and I don't know whether it's a woman thing, but I do feel like women, like girls, when you're growing up, it's like, do you shave and how much do you shave and when should you shave and like questions like that. I do agree with that. The period thing, like, how do you deal with that? There's certain things there that need to be discussed. I remember some girls had like hips really super early and they were like, they didn't like having hips. I feel like there's a lot of, and it makes sense, like girls when they're teenagers are very, very self-conscious because our bodies change quite a lot. There's a lot of like different things that happen. And so I agree that should be a conversation. And I like the fact that that conversation can be found on Channel 4. Do I feel like if I was to have a conversation with a teenager now where they was asking me those questions like Storm said earlier, do I need to be naked for that conversation? No. I should never need to be naked in front of a child ever in my life. Like even my own kids, even when you're breastfeeding, you don't need to have your everything out. It's not necessary. It's just not necessary. So I feel like those conversations are valid. What they're talking about are valid. Do I think it needs to be a sob story from the adults? Not really. Like, if you're not over it now and you're 25, get over it. I don't want to hear your sad story of a teenager.
These were 50, 60,
I feel like,
grown women.
But I feel like listening to teenagers and their problems and going, yeah, that's normal. And this is how you can cope with it, or this is how you can deal with it, or actually in the future, like one of those girls was saying, I got boobs really early. I didn't get boobs until well late. But being like, do you know what? They might work for your benefit in the future. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like those conversations are good to have and out in the open. Do I think at any time adults should be naked in front of children? No, I think it's a crime.
This is what I'm talking about. I didn't leave thinking, I don't know how anything works because I never got to see a real naked person. We did the science lessons, we did the biology, and then when I had questions, I asked the questions. There was information. I bought men's magazines to read up about man's bodies and development, and it's out there. You can talk to people, you can ask questions, you can have those conversations. I just don't understand why that concept had to go, and let's add 5 naked strangers to these kids. And not just 5, let's have a different set of 5.
Yeah.
Over 5 episodes, so they're going to see at least 25 naked adults.
Yeah. It's a bit extreme. But like I was saying to you earlier, it's like, I just feel like men and women mature differently. We're at different times. Like I said, being 16, if they came into us at 16 years old, here's some naked women, some naked bodies, and we're not going to feel awkward and feel like anything's wrong. We're going to be like, okay, naked woman. They'll probably tell everyone we see a naked body.
Yeah, pretty much.
We might be a bit like, hold on, didn't want to see that, don't want to see it, too soon, didn't want to, and ain't really got a choice. It's just there.
I think some things are great in theory as well. Even as a teenage boy, sometimes it's like, all right, yo, I'd love to see that. And then you saw that the 15-year-old, when they actually came in, he was like,
you don't want to look anyway.
What's wrong? And he said, I don't know where to look. They asked the other boy, I just feel nervous. Oh, why'd you feel nervous? I've just never seen naked a naked woman before. And that's first experiences with some strangers in a room. And then the other kid's like, I just feel uncomfortable. I don't know where to look. I feel like I need to look at their faces. I shouldn't look at their bodies. Oh, why do you not think you should look at their bodies? Like, what? What confusion? All right, now I'm confused. Now I'm confused because you told me my entire life to be respectful, look at eyes, make eye. And now you're like, look. Why aren't you looking? That's weird. It just, it was unnecessary.
It's a bit forcey.
Yeah. I feel it was unnecessary, completely unnecessary. There were so many other ways to achieve the same goal. Even they even had the naked mannequins and did the where do you think hair grows? Oh well, it also grows there. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
it's
fair.
like do you know what I mean? It's practical. It makes sense. We all know what's going on. When we did the condoms in school, we knew putting on a banana isn't exactly the same, but we get it. It's just I don't know. I don't know where the line's gone. There was a line. There was a line before. We all had like a set of
I feel like
of
now,
values and lines
basically
we
what
wouldn't cross.
happened is like, I feel like they use the excuse of, oh, well, kids watch porn and they see all this unrealistic stuff on Instagram and la, maybe we should make it realistic. And the issue is like, two things can be wrong. Stop trying to make that wrong problem right. Kids shouldn't be watching porn. Bad parents. Very, very bad parents. Don't try to deter those kids by then saying, oh, but I'm going to get you in a room full of naked adults of different shapes and sizes and make you look at their whole body and pretend that that's a better scenario. No. Still bad parents for letting them go on that show. All that you've got there is an institution like Channel 4 saying, oh, well, we approve of this. That's it. That's all you've got in comparison. Because some bodies on porn aren't actually overly amazing either. Like, some of them are just average bodies. So it's like, your arguments are, like, both things are wrong. Both things are flawed. And neither should be happening. And parents need more accountability. If your kids are looking at porn regularly and they go off at 18 and they get a boob job, you're bad parents. I don't have anything, there's no better advice there. And it's not up to the community, it's not up to Instagram, it's not up to everybody else or the government to look after your kids and tell them what they should and shouldn't be doing. Otherwise you get institutions like Channel 4 that bring in adults and get their vaginas out and their breasts out in front of your kids. You're bad parents. Look after your kids better. Lay some morals down in your home. Like, that's it. I don't understand of trying to make it better for everyone. It's not. Like, your kids shouldn't be doing that. There's no argument that argues the good case for that show at all. I think it's disgusting. And I think everyone on that show is committing a crime.
The fact that it got through and they did it, and it's not even like a pilot. They did 5 episodes. Like, it's a full show, and the other half of the show is adults coming on with their problems, and that's its own show. That's fine. Like, have the adults come on and talk about the problems. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get how they got there. I don't get how it got accepted, and I don't quite understand what they're gonna do from here either. Like, it's not gonna get taken down.
No.
And if they made a series 2, would you be surprised? Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be shocked, because I don't think it'll be interesting to hear the radio and debates and see how the world's reacted to it, because I feel like we're all getting pushed into a corner where we have to just, or people feel like they have to quietly nod and agree for fear of being like, oh, you're something phobic if you think this is wrong, or you're not modern, you're not thinking of whatever will come at them, and it can be daunting to have to face that. But I think there are certain things that are just worth standing up for, and this is something that's worth standing up for. We should not have naked adults in rooms with minors. It's not even the fact that we have to sit here and make that statement. You should not have naked adults in a room with minors. Just period. Don't.
And again, like the whole eating disorder argument, or, oh, well, my kid is worried about their body. Again, like, you shouldn't have had kids if you can't deal with that problem. That problem has been around for years. That problem has been around for ages. And it wouldn't be a surprise if our kids suffer with body confidence problems or body problems or eating disorders when they're teenagers. You need to know where to go. You need to know how to have those conversations. You need to know how to notice it. I do not need Channel 4 stepping in front of me and going, oh, do you know what? We might be able to cure that if I get naked adults in front of your kids. No, that's committing a crime. In fact, most of the time of eating disorders is because they feel like there's a lack of control in every area of their life. And so by Dr. Alex saying, oh, well, why are you not looking at them? And him saying, well, I feel uncomfortable, and going, well, why? Why do you feel uncomfortable? Then not having control over where I can put my eyes is actually taking more control away from that kid.
Gone. Yeah.
It's just the most horrific, disgusting things. I hope those kids are all right afterwards, because that is very traumatic to be sat in front of a bunch of adults getting everything out and then being questioned why you feel uncomfortable. I find it the most ridiculous thing on the planet, and I feel like all of those adults need to go to prison. I don't have anything else for them, including Dr. Alex. That I find it hilarious that he's speaking out on eating disorders when he went on a show like Bloody Love Island. Was fine to take the money from that show and advertise no body positivity there at all. But I hope they made their money and they can pay the wage to get out of prison, but that's where I feel like they should go.
Hear that?
Period.
I was just quiet. Somebody said shit.
This is my input.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add. I feel like everything's been said.
No justification for it. Can't see how it could be possibly a positive.
I just think it's a gimmick. Because you know how before it was the whole put adult humour into kids' shows like Shrek and whatever, for example. And then it was the whole sexuality cells and everything was hypersexualised. And now it's just anything that is shock factor is... it sells, and then people just do it. So I think it's just a gimmick.
Makes sense.
Yuck. Yuck. Yeah.
Show's not needed.
It's not. There's no need for it. There's no space for it. And I hope that we all can be loud and against it, and they stop doing this nonsense. Let kids be kids.
Yep.
It'd be lovely.
I mean, for me, it was the fact that they were 15. They were under the age of consent, and you talk about consent so much, and then you put kids under the age of consent in a very sexualized environment with naked adults, and then justify it by educational purposes. I feel like you're just opening a door to a lot of things now, because the same justifications that we used to put that on TV can be used for anything now. So I think it was just very careless.
Very slippery slope. Very slippery slope. And even that, the whole thing about the age of consent, that means that for them to have gone on that show, you're saying the adults, their responsible adults would have had to consent on their behalf. So then we all agree it's not their consent, because at that age we've decided as a country you're not able to give consent. You actually do not have the process, the knowledge, the development to give consent. That's why I put the age of consent in. So then how do we justify doing it? Because the adults said, well, that doesn't make sense, because we're still saying the young person is not able to consent to this. So
which is why the parents should go to jail.
Yes.
Like, I don't have... You're committing a crime against your kid. I just find it the weirdest thing. And like I said, if it was someone off the street and said, oh, I'm going to get naked in front of your kids to get them over... A therapist. They went into a therapy session, and the kid came out and said, oh, by the way, the therapist got completely naked to get me over my eating disorder. They'd be like, what? Whereas because Channel 4 have said, oh no, it's completely acceptable, we're doing it as a show and la la la, then they're like, oh, okay, fair enough. It's like, no. Can I say, shows, like, especially British ones, have not led the best way in children. Like they've just not done it. So let's not pretend that TV or media are the best route to go down for a stamp of approval for our kids. They're not. The best people to go down are normally the parents, and these days parents are just getting taken away by...
Kids can get on TV? What do you mean?
Yes.
They'll be on TV. They'll be on Channel 4. Oh my gosh, sign them up.
Yeah.
My child's great personality, really fun, really bubbly. They'd smash it. Sign them up.
It's too much, man. Like, we grew up in, like, where you get year 5 and you get the anatomy of the picture. The woman's outline, the man's outline. This is this, this is that.
The difference.
Do that for a few months. They do it again in, like, year 7, year 8.
Yep.
You know.
Health.
We turned out fine. That's what we got. We turned out fine. We weren't on TV. We didn't get no TV channel. We turned out cool.
Also, can I just say, I know people are going to say, oh, well, bodies shouldn't be overly sexualised, la la la. Guess what? They are. Like, teenagers go through a stage where everything is very sexualised. I mean, I picked a pen lid up the floor, by the way, yesterday, and it was like a wait, do you know what I mean, from teenage lads, mostly because that's just their thought process. Like it's nothing. You can't change that either. Stop trying to change the psychology of people of going, oh, if they see a naked body, oh, it's actually not sexualized. You just should be able to see a naked body and feel nothing. Yeah. No, that's how populations either completely decrease, or that's how people do get away with being paedophiles. Because then a naked adult could sit next to your naked child, absolutely fine with, and no one can say anything, because guess what? It's not sexual. No, it is. It absolutely is. Where's the line where things aren't sexual anymore?
Nobody knows.
There is no line. They got rid of that line, man.
Yeah, big time. I
make everything normal.
Yeah, I just think let's let kids be kids. Let the kids just be kids. They don't need to know everything. You shouldn't know everything. Do you know how crap it is knowing everything? It's horrible.
Someone's in the smartest views. No, everything.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Like once you go past that moment of realization, it's a lot to deal with. Once you realize, oh, hold on, my parents are just normal human beings with flaws.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What, relationships are just two humans trying to work it out? Yeah. They're not meant to be. Like they're just. As you get older, it's all just more and more confusing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So why do we want to feed these young people's mind with all this confusing stuff, all these things that grown adults haven't figured out yet? Grown adults are struggling to deal with certain issues, with certain choices, yet we're like, here's a great idea, teach the 4-year-olds, teach the 7-year-old. What are you talking about? Your job as a young person, and our job as adults working with young people, is to give them an environment where they're safe. First and foremost, numero uno. Let's create an environment.
It's not to teach them anything. It's
Nope.
not to do anything like that.
Nope.
To keep them safe.
Number one. That is the first job of an adult in a young person's life. Safety. Right? Number 2 is to give them the space to learn. Learn who they are, learn how the world works, and develop as a character. Right up until the age, as far as I'm concerned, of 18. The whole 16 age consent, stupid. But that's another thing. I think it's too young. But until they're 18, they are a young person. Teach them to themselves, help them understand what the world's going to be like when they get out there, and give them space to just learn, develop, and grow as a character. Once they hit 18, they get hit with everything, and they find out about the real world. They find out about life. They find out about relationships. They find out about identity and all that kind of stuff. But leave them the heck alone while they're kids, and let them be kids. Please. We need to vote for someone to do that. Tell me who. I don't care. I don't mind which damn party it is. If there's a party that stands for protecting children, first and foremost, above entertainment, above identity politics, above whatever other nonsense you're using to get to this, you've got my vote. I'm in. But yeah, we're going in a very scary direction. I don't like it. It's not healthy. And something needs to be stopped. And this program was wrong. Yuck. Bring back Cartoon Network. Bring back My Wife. Wouldn't have this problem with My Wife and Kids. Didn't have it. Fresh Prince, no, didn't cross this line. For older teenagers, though, I should say. But, yeah, scary. Hopefully it's the last time you have to have a conversation like this because, people stop making stupid programs like this. But the sad thing is we know it's not. You know what I mean? We know it's not. We know there's going to be more. There's going to be another one. And I just hope the kids don't start getting younger. It's the only thing we can hope, we can pray for. And when you hear these arguments against things like, what was it? Ra Pool or whatever, the drag queen dude was on news the other day saying how... RuPaul. Ra Pool. Look, I watch a lot of programs. There's a lot of programs I don't watch, right? Thought it was a yardie. Ra Pool.
Right, before you make your statement, again.
What, Ra?
Premise. Like, I just want to say, like, not everything is like a full-on attack. Like, the premise of this show, in regards to answering questions that teenagers are worried about, I agree with. If someone told me don't shave your thigh when I was 11, my God, my thighs would be insane right now, okay? I did. It was a silly, silly error, okay? And then they grow back and then more cause and it's a disaster, okay? So, I get it. I agree with the premise of the show. I fundamentally disagree with naked adults being in a room with kids. Okay, with the RuPaul argument, I love a drag race. I've been to many a bar or pub where they have drag artists in there. I find them hilarious. I appreciate what they do and the hard work that you put into it. Do I think that it's for kids? No. And I have people arguing with me that don't have kids. And I want you to know that fundamentally the main thing in my life is to protect my children.
Job number one.
I would do some very bad things to protect those kids.
I love that she said probably. I love that she tried it. Like, BA, we know you would. What are you talking about?
And I will want them to be kids for as long as they can be kids. And I feel like that's my main role. And if it means that sometimes, and I don't know why it's controversial, but if it means by me saying something controversial and offending a few adults here and there for violating or it being a violent talk to say that I don't agree with kids going to drag races, I will stand by it. And you know what? Growing up as a kid, in theatre, I was surrounded by men that dressed up as women, right? Did I ever see it? Did they ever want to do it in front of me? No. And I remember seeing one of them dress up as a nurse once and waking up in the middle of the night and seeing it, and they were horrified. So I'm a bit confused.
He
was horrified that I saw
seen.
him. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And I'm so confused about where that psychology has changed. And actually, I don't know whether it is from the drag community. I feel like it's from a separate community that has said we need to make this more established to everybody. And has fought courses that the children don't want, that for me as a parent, I don't want. And for the drag artists, I don't know whether like half the stuff that I've seen drag artists do, they couldn't do in front of kids. They're comedians, they're hilarious. The things that they sing about, the things that they say are adult content. It's like taking someone to see Catherine Ryan. Like it's funny as an adult, it's not funny as a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why we need to make it for kids. It's fine for it to just be adults. I respect them as an art for adults. But overall, I agree with most of the premises. But I disagree with trying to push it that little bit further, and especially when it comes to kids.
Yeah, 100%. And this idea that anyone who disagrees with it is attacking an entire community of stuff. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's purely, solely, 100% on job number one, which is protect the children. And that means they don't need to be exposed to certain things until they are of a certain age. And it's that simple. And for young people listening who are like, well, I'm quite mature, because that would have been my response. You said all this, I'd be like, listen,
You think you're ready?
I'm mature, yeah? I'm grown. My closest friends are older than me, yeah? I'm grown. Once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. Once you see something, you can't unsee it. Once you take an action, you can't undo the action. So this rush to be older and experience things that older people experience, there's no turning back once you do. So don't rush it. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be exposed to everything. You don't need to see everything. Because once you see it, experience it, and do it, it's done, it's over. There's never a chance for you to get back your childhood, your innocence, your blissful ignorance. Remain a child. Be young, enjoy it. It's only 18 years of your life, which I know sounds like forever.
It isn't.
But it's 18 years.
It isn't, man.
Of that 18 years, you can't remember 6. There's 6 of those 18 years. You can't even remember what you were doing. I was just on the phone to my sister before this. She showed me pictures of me when I was younger. I was like,
I've
what?
seen that, yeah.
I had an Arsenal top with Dreamcast?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
So really, when we talk about your time as a child, you've got 0 to 6 where you can't really remember anything. 7 to 9, you could probably remember most. And then 9, 10 onwards, all right, cool, I've got a pretty good memory of. So we're talking 8, 9, 10 years. That's it. Then it's done. And you're into the big wide world of adults. And the big wide world of adults is different. And there's a lot of things to deal with, a lot of things to juggle. So enjoy your youth. Be a kid. Love being a kid. And have a good time. All this other stuff is coming. And you get to experience it. But wait, enjoy your youth. Use this time to do, 1, get to know yourself. 2, get to know who you'd like to become, what characteristics you'd like to develop, who you'd like to be as a person. And 3, start laying a little foundation for when you're old enough to start making those big choices. That's it. That's your job. That's all. Nothing else matters. Stop getting sucked in by these fools who just want to make money off of your interest. Any final words, Storm?
No. Not really, no. I feel like everything's been said.
Yeah, for real. Any final words, Chris?
No final words for me, but yeah, like you were saying, it's slowly getting overplayed already.
Yeah.
It's going to get played out and until they normalize it.
Absolutely.
It's scary. It's a scary place to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know this podcast, we talk about like clarity, time management, fun themes with you, and that's our goal. But our number one goal is your safety, because we're adults, and that's what we owe young people. So, apologies, it's gone a bit of a different direction than usual, but it needed to be done. I think actually if we sat by and allowed this show to go out without saying a word and act like it's all normal, we become part of the problem.
Yeah.
And there'll be people listening who disagree, who feel triggered by certain things. No problem. No problem. It's beautiful. This was wrong. They were wrong. And it should never happen again. Thank you very much for your time. Kids, don't watch it. Go watch something decent, man. Get Cartoon Network. Dexter's Laboratory's lit.
Hey,
all right? Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Jeez. Go watch some football, man. Do your thing. All right? Let kids be kids. Hey. We are still doing our little Easter egg, which I'll say this time, Storm, because it's Easter holidays, isn't it? So it is actually an Easter egg.
We're on brand.
Absolutely. So the code word this week, Storm, what's the code word?
Oh, no.
Oh, pressure. Should we give it to the special guest if you can't think of one?
Yeah.
It's your time here, special guest. They get a code word. The first person to message us with this code word gets sent a free Aim a Little Higher shirt because they listen till the end.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so what's the code word they got to send to us, man?
The code word is safety.
Boring. But okay.
Send us a DM saying the word safety. You will be sent a free Aim a Little Higher shirt. Thank you for listening. We love you. Stay safe. Peace.